These are the directions for finishing up your city at night using movement. If you weren't here to create your swirls with orange and yellow, then you may use oil pastels to do this. When you're done creating your orange and yellow swirls, you're going to use blue and purple to fill in the rest of your sky. Make sure you're pressing down hard enough and you're sort of following that original swirl and just going and filling in much of that gray paper that's showing. Make sure you're still creating lines that show lots of movement. There will still be a little bit of gray paper showing. I just grabbed some purple and I'm overlapping a little bit. You may notice a little bit more mixing if you used oil pastel to create your swirls that are orange and yellow. When your sky is filled in and you don't have too much gray showing, you're ready to start adding your buildings. So you have provided some black sheets of paper that you're going to turn into buildings, and then you have some colorful sheets of paper, including painted paper, to create the windows and doors. It is helpful to use a pencil to draw the top of your building. So you're making, if you kind of imagine like a letter A without the middle line, or if it helps you, you can always turn your paper upside down and make a large V shape. And your buildings can be tall or short. You get to decide, and then carefully just trim off next to those lines so you have buildings. And you may want to lay them on your background to see how much room you have before you cut too many. So I can probably fit about 4 on here. When you know where you're going to place them, go ahead and add small dots of glue around the edge of every building. Remember to tap your top of your glue bottle on there and just do a little dots all the way around that edge. Before the glue completely dries, check to make sure that your buildings are lined up with the bottom of your gray paper. And if the buildings touch, it's okay. And if there's a little bit of space in between them, that's okay too. After gluing your buildings, you're ready to start making your windows and doors. You might want to draw first if you're not sure what you're going to create. So maybe you want to do a round door. And then using the remaining parts of the paper, you could just cut some small squares to create windows or maybe different kinds of doors. You get to decide how you'd like to add your details to all of your buildings. Just remember, when you're gluing those windows on, use some little teeny tiny dots of glue so we don't have to squeeze our glue bottle too hard when we're doing this. A little dot right in the middle, and then you decide how to add them on there. After your final details are glued, carefully place it on the drying rack so you don't accidentally bump any of your small little details that you just glued.